Obviously, I'm not going to go through each and every game from each company because talking about all those games would take too long, and I don't really want to make this a very super long video. So starting off here, I believe Bethesda was the first one to kick off the E3 2016 event with their press conference, and they only showed one thing I was interested in, and that's the Skyrim HD remastered version for next-gen consoles, of course, for PS4 and Xbox One. The reason why I'm excited about that is because I love Skyrim. I put many hours into that game when I played it on PS3, and it's really awesome that they are coming out with a HD version with all the DLC included, of course. However, I would have preferred a brand new Skyrim game, like a Skyrim 2 or something, but I'm okay with this, and that's the only thing Bethesda showed that really caught my interest. Obviously, there was some more cool stuff, like Quake is making a comeback, and they announced some DLC for Fallout 4. So, let's go on to EA. Okay, so EA, there's only like two things from that event that really caught my interest, and that was Battlefield 1 and Mass Effect Andromeda. Reason why I'm interested in Battlefield 1 is because I am a Battlefield fan ever since my friend got me into it, and I started to play the Battlefield games more than Call of Duty until ultimately I just quit playing Call of Duty altogether and started playing Battlefield when it comes to realistic shooters. And they are going to put it in a World War I setting, so that's pretty cool. And the gameplay looks solid. I did watch the 64-man event multiplayer, or 64-man multiplayer event that they had at the end of that press conference, and it looks interesting. Mass Effect Andromeda looks pretty. It looks pretty, at least from what I've seen. I don't know if it was cutscenes or actual gameplay, but I also have a confession to make. I never played any of the previous Mass Effect games, and I know they have that 3-disc trilogy collection out there for PS3, and the reason why I never bought that is because I was hoping they would make an HD remastered trilogy for PS4, and they never did. So it looks like I might have to go back and play that trilogy on PS3 before I even think about playing Mass Effect Andromeda. And those were the only things they showed from EA that I liked. I don't remember much. I know they showed like 2 sports games like Madden and a story mode for FIFA. Oh yeah, they showed Titanfall 2, which is now for PS4, so it's not just a Xbox One exclusive. And they added a campaign mode for all the people who've been asking for a story mode since the first game. For some odd reason, Titanfall does not appeal to me. I do not find it interesting at all. It's just something that just looks like I could probably have fun with for like a month and then never play it again. That's what Titanfall looks like to me. And I don't know, but to me it kind of looks like Call of Duty with mechs. That's the vibe I kind of get from it. Obviously other people might think differently, but I don't know. Moving on to the Microsoft event. Now, I do not have an Xbox One, but if I did, I would be very excited about 3 games right now. And those games are Gears of War 4, Dead Rising 4, and Scalebound from Platinum Games. Now, they did announce Xbox One S, which stands for Xbox One Slim or Xbox One Small. And it makes me wonder, what did they take out of the original Xbox One to get it down to that shrunken state? But anyways, there is some confusion here because Microsoft is also developing Project Scorpio, which is supposed to be a more powerful version of Xbox One. I think it's supposed to be able to run on 4K televisions and supposed to have like better resolution and higher frame rates and all that stuff. And it's supposed to be able to operate VR devices more smoothly than on the original Xbox One. And it just made me think, all right, so if they are making this beefier Xbox One, aren't people are going to go for that more than the Xbox One S? So I don't know. At least they gave consumers the option to decide which one they want, a smaller version of Xbox One or the more beefier version of Xbox One. So that's the thing. Alright, so moving on to the Ubisoft event. Not really anything that impressed me. The gameplay for Watch Dogs 2 looked nice, but to me it looks like they're trying too hard to be cool and trying to be like GTA a little bit. I'm like, come on, I already did the whole open world sandbox type of thing and other video games. I don't really want to go through that again in Watch Dogs 2. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I mean, obviously it's its own thing. It's Watch Dogs. You hack stuff, but I don't know. It looks like a kind of game I would check out when it's like $30 or $20. You know what I mean? That's how I see Watch Dogs 2. It's not like something I would spend full price on. At Ubisoft, I'm trying to remember what they showed that really got me pumped. Oh yeah, the release date for South Park: The Fractured Butthole. I know the name is so funny, The Fractured Butthole, but it's South Park, so, you know, Matt and Trey Parker. They also showed gameplays for that, and I think it's going to be a more tactical-based RPG game, more so than the first one. But I'm really excited about that. It looks funny as hell. The first one made me laugh my ass off, and I love South Park so much, so obviously I'm going to buy this. And the release date for that is December 6th, 2016, so December of this year. Looking forward to that. Finally, let's get to Sony. Sony started off with a bang with God of War, a reboot, I think. Now, I went on Twitter and I said God of War 4 confirmed, but they did not add the 4. They just said, well, the title just said God of War in that gameplay trailer. So I'm guessing this is a reboot or remastered. No, it would be, yeah, a brand new reboot or something, but still with Kratos in like a different setting. I think the Norse Viking setting or something like that. It looks very damn cool and a lot of fun. I would recommend checking out that trailer if you are a God of War fan. It looks very impressive. The next one made me jump out of my seat with the next announcement. They showed like this creepy trailer for something. I was like, holy shit, this looks very scary. What the hell is it? And then at the end of the trailer, you see I think the Roman numeral for 7 appeared on the screen, and then the rest of the words appeared, Resident Evil, and I'm like, Resident Evil 7, they actually did it. They are going to make it scary again. But it's important to mention, I think that was a VR demonstration, because everything they were showing was in first-person view. So I'm not quite sure if this is going to be a first-person Resident Evil game, or it's just first-person for the Oculus or whatever, or is it called the Oculus? Or the Morpheus, the Morpheus, whatever. One of the VR headsets. I know they've got too many out there. It's hard to remember them all. But yeah, I'm very curious if it is going to be first-person actual gameplay or first-person just for the VR gameplay. But it did look creepy as fuck, and I'm very excited for it. Big news for this next one. Crash Bandicoot remake. They said they are going to remake it from the ground up. So new graphics, probably new designs and all of that. And new challenges, and hey, Crash Bandicoot fans, it's a great time to be alive. They did show this one interesting game called Detroit, where you play a android detective, and you can sort of change the outcome of the event, because each thing you do in the game has consequences. So that looks pretty damn interesting. I'm very curious about that game. Another game that they announced that I'm curious about showed no gameplay, but more of a it was like a CGI movie or a cutscene type of thing they had going on there. It was for Hideo Kojima's new game called Death Standing, and it showed like a CGI version of Norman Reedus like hugging a baby or something. And he's like butt naked on the beach staring at a bunch of dead whales. It was very weird. I mean, it looked impressive. The graphics looked great, but would like to know more about it. But I have hope. I mean, it's from Hideo Kojima Productions, and we all know the fantastic work that he's done in the past. All right, Spider-Man is coming to the PS4. Now, they did not mention if this is going to be an exclusive title for PS4. It just said Spider-Man PS4. And the way his eyes moved in the trailer looks similar to the eyes in the Civil War movie. So I don't know if this is going to be a game based off Spider-Man Homecoming, the next Spider-Man movie that's coming out, or if this is just going to be a standalone Spider-Man comic. Or, not comic, but standalone Spider-Man game based off one of the comics. It looks friggin' fantastic. But what I'm wondering is how well does it actually plays, because each time they release a trailer for a Spider-Man game, I'm like, oh wow, that looks really good. And then they release it, and I'm like, oh wow, the gameplay kind of looks like meh. But I don't know, it looks very impressive. I'm actually shocked that they announced another Spider-Man title for PS4. Oh, and it's from Insomnia and not Activision or whoever else this time. I'm trying to think of whatever else they showed. Oh yeah, they ended the press conference with this zombie game called Days Gone. And it looks pretty cool. It looks kind of like... man. I want to say almost like Dead Rising, except with super fast zombies that actually rush you down. They actually run after you, and they just show like thousands upon thousands of zombies on the screen just running after you, and you just have to run away from them, or shoot them down if you can, or do whatever you can to stall them. It looks fun like hell. And that's coming from a person who's sort of tired of zombie games. But this one, it really looks fun. I would like to play it. I would like to see more from it, too. I mean, it could turn out to be just a generic action zombie title, but I am very curious about it. Alright, so those are all the games that I am interested in from this year's E3 event, or at least the ones that I am very curious about. Please sound off in the comments below if there are any games this year at E3 2016 that impressed you. And to me, I think Sony had the best press conference, hands down, just based off the announcements for the new God of War game and the announcement for Resident Evil 7. I'm so pumped. Alright, so thank you all for listening, and I'm going to go play some video games, of course. And I will see you guys later.